Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chatter Squadron, your weekly dose of Star Wars fun and positivity. My name is Tyler Bucks.
And my name is Logan Hansaker. What is up, you rebel scum?
Well, as always, we have a bunch of stuff up, but first, we want to give props to Acme Archives Direct for providing this art right here. And if you comment on our main Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook stream on our pages, you get entered in to possibly win that art in, I think, a couple months, maybe a month and a half at this point.
End of June, correct?
Yeah, end of June. So feel free to comment in. The more you comment and be active in our main streams, we can bring your comment up and everything, and it's another chance to win that Lucasfilm license art and everything. What's the name of this one again?
This is The Gift by Al Abazia.
Ah, yes. So
that name that gets you.
Yeah, I love your name. I just can't say it. So if you want to win the gift, then go ahead and check out all of our streams, comment on them, and also check out Acme Archives Direct.
Super cool. Yeah, last month's winner was Bounty Acquired by Lucas Durham, and that was Commodore Mellish. And that is it's a time where it reminds me to say that we can only send art to people in the United States.
Yes,
as of right now.
Unfortunately, that's kind of how it is from the pandemic, but we are figuring out how to send art to a prior winner. Don't worry about that.
Yes, from here on out.
Moving on. Don't we have a new Tiny King / Queen of the Tiny Chair, Tiny Victories that currently is not here, but it's here in our hearts.
It's in our hearts, and we're working to get them on the set as well. New set, everything's changing over. Yes, we do. The Tiny Chair of Tiny Victor, or the King / Queen of the Tiny Chair of Tiny Victories, thank you, is Ensign Suckpants.
Now, what is up with that name, Suckpants?
Suckpants. So that it's actually funny because I think that
good, it's funny.
He first came through the week that I was sick.
Yes.
So I wasn't on the stream to catch it come through, and I hope I would have. But yeah, that's my cousin Joe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long running joke from the show Psych.
Right.
I don't even think it was in the show. It was one of the bloopers, and Sean James Roday was doing some ad lib something, and I think they were talking about pants or something, and he was like, just call him suck pants. And I think even Gus was like suck pants and just said it.
Yeah.
And so me and Joe have done that our whole lives, where he'll just say, just call him suck pants. And I'm like, suck pants.
And of course, he comes through in the Patreon when Logan is out that week.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
So I was like, who the heck is this Suck Pants? I'm not going to say that name on the... So
he got censored out.
It's an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen. So don't freak out too much about it. And then the other big thing that we want to talk about is that we are now a part of the Culture Slate network. Logan, are you excited?
Of course, that's why I'm doing these hands like this.
Of course, you have to be. That's part of the deal that we're excited about it. Legally, we are excited. But yeah, there's a lot of big things coming from Culture Slate, so feel free to check out all of their stuff and all their social medias, and you're going to see a lot more of us around there too. Yeah. So very exciting. And also, speaking of Culture Slate, Star Wars Culture with Hannah Rayside filling in for you when you dipped out.
Yes,
when you pretended to be sick.
I pretended to be sick only to get myself into the comments so I could win.
Oh my gosh, you're trying to win the Acme Archives Direct art.
I'm not trying. I'm going to win.
Okay.
I will be this winner. It'll just stay here, right in my room.
And if you want to be a winner, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. Rise the ranks up there. You get show notes, Discord, post shows, which we'll be doing in a little bit here after the show that only patrons get to hear.
You get our love
and our unending love. Plus, you get a shout out at a specific a specific level. So we want to give a shout out to Commodore Marroquin, Commodore Hannah Rayside,
Commodore Benty,
and Commodore Mellish. Wow. And before we get to all that, I know there's a lot of housekeeping and we apologize, but we want to say something really fun and cool that we will be hosting a live event. Finally, people are going to be around us.
It's a live event, but it's not just us live from the studio. It's
a legitimate live event here in Ohio. Superscript Comics and Games are hosting their free comic book day and 1-year anniversary celebration. And that is Friday, August 13th. That's 8 p.m. to midnight, and the live kickoff show at Bottle House Lakewood, that's what we will be a part of.
Yes.
And we're thinking of doing some media there. So you guys, if you can't make it all the way to Ohio, will also get to see what we're doing over there.
Yeah, we'll be doing some cool stuff. Come and drive out wherever you're from. Fly over here.
Yes.
Get here.
And now here is your spoiler warning. Spoiler warning, everybody. If you haven't seen the latest episode of The Bad Batch, guess what?
Gotta spoil it.
Get the heck out of here. Okay.
Get out of here.
Quick thing I want to say, we got Siren, who just did one of our new videos, a clip, Siren Studios.
Yes.
Congrats on getting cultured. That's exactly it.
It's true.
Now that we're a part of Culture Slate, we have to drink everything with our pinky out and whatnot.
We are not. This is not a sponsorship.
No, we're trying. I'm doing everything I can to not show off. We know we're sponsored by.
If it was IHOP,
yeah, IHOP,
we'd be able to show
we
it.
do serendipitous. If you don't know what we're talking about, you need to check out last week's stream. I almost said sub,
which is good. If you haven't seen the most recent Bad Batch episode, turn this off because we're going to spoil it and go and watch last week's episode of our stream.
Oh my
because you should be caught up by now.
That's what I'm talking about.
See that? See what I'm doing there?
Okay. Cool. Spoiler warning has been in effect. We gave you like 2 minutes. If you're still around, get ready to be spoiled.
Yeah, you're going to get spoiled.
So this latest episode was really cool. It felt very Clone Wars to me, I'll be honest. When it comes to tone, this was a very Clone Wars feeling thing. I think it was part of because of seeing the cat people again. What are they called?
Zygarians.
Zygarians, yes. Because there was that whole little arc between the Zygarians and the Jedi and all that. So I just felt like Clone Wars all over again, especially with them back in their armor.
Yes.
Even when they were in the city. Did I miss something? We'll get to that in a second, but you know what I mean? They did a whole thing where they disguised themselves last episode, and now this episode they just load up and everything and take Omega, and they're like, "Yeah, we're here."
Yeah, but hey, we're wearing our armor. We're not even going to try to disguise ourselves. I think it was a little less disguise warranted. I feel like they knew that they were just going to get seen.
Yeah.
Like there was even last episode when they went disguises, they were still seen.
True. So let's break this down step by step here. So this is what the description of this in Wikipedia says. Hoping to discover who hired Shand to retrieve Omega, the Bad Batch go to Ord Mantell, where Echo knows of a Jedi informant named Sid. So something that I found interesting about this was, once again, we start off in the ship and we have Omega, and she has her new comm device, which is just a repurposed. She got a hand-me-down comm device.
She got crosshairs.
Yeah.
A little sad.
And it's also a little sad that we haven't seen Crosshair in a while.
At all.
Yeah, what the heck is going on there?
Yeah, we don't even know what he's up to.
He's not
communicating.
He's probably really working that gun up so he can take out that old lady.
Yeah, he's inscribing her name on his rifle.
Her name, like, this one's for you.
Right.
But yeah, so she gets the comm device. She's already using it already. That was pretty funny, where they were all talking and then she like comms into them
for the last little input.
But they make it to what's this place again? Ord Mantell. And it looks like if Tatooine got its stuff together. Yeah. Like it looks like it's in Tatooine, but it looks like a little city compared to like Mos Eisley, which is seriously a wretched hive of scum villainy.
A little more high tech. More high tech. They've gotten a little they've pulled their resources a little better.
I think you mean high tech.
High tech?
High tech. Okay, but yeah, so they're wearing their old get-ups, like I just said. No chill at all about this.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, I know we just did a whole disguise thing. I know they're coming after us and Omega, which once again, just use some of those pieces of gum they get from Sid at the end of this episode to buy Omega some clothes.
Yeah, they're
a poncho, get her a haircut, dye her hair, and no one would know the difference.
I think, even just a big cloak, a big hood would help out.
Yeah, right, exactly. Why don't you just take her? Why don't you make her into a droid like you did with Echo or Robeco, I should say.
That should just be her permanent disguise. It's just a droid. Omega's just a droid now.
Omega, yeah, this is our droid. Don't look at her too long. She's definitely a droid. Why don't they put her in that gonk droid?
I feel like that would be too good of a disguise. Like you do need some people to recognize them so we can have some plot points further.
No. I'm not thinking story anymore. They need to save this young child.
It's totally just about disguise. What'd you think about Sid? Just basically being like, I'm not Sid. And then they were like, sounds good. Definitely Sid.
And as they were getting to that point too, I like how they kind of made this talking point about that like standard trope where people apparently don't talk to each other unless they're like at the place.
Right.
And I forget who said it was like, something about Sid. And I think Tech was like, that's something you should have said on the ship.
Oh, that he'd never met him before.
Oh,
or
yeah,
never seen him. He doesn't know what he looks like.
But that is so true in any media. It's like, all right, now that we're right outside the person's house that we're about to kill, I need to let you know that they're an assassin. They're going to kill us first. It's like, why we drove like 40 minutes here. Why didn't you say it then?
It's like we could have armed ourselves way better. We passed like 6 gun stores.
Why are we even here?
Space blaster stores.
Right. Space like his blasters aren't space enough.
Space enough.
Space sci-fi Star Wars blaster
Double
store.
Down. Yeah,
triple down.
Really laid in there.
But okay, so Sid, she offers to find out about Shand in exchange for their help being the Bad Batch. Slavers had kidnapped a child, a child named Moochie. Isn't that like stuff that it's like Asian cuisine ice cream?
Yeah, that's mochi.
Yeah, it's mochi. It's Logan didn't want to help me with that joke. He was just like, no, I know what this is. I'm just gonna say it straight out.
It's my favorite. I love it. I can't even joke about it. I can't joke about getting its name
good.
wrong.
I like the green tea.
I think mochi. I like what was it? I always used it like honeydew or something like that.
Ooh,
it's also green.
After this, can we go find some mochi?
Some moochie?
Anyway, Sid will receive a reward from Jabba the Hutt if the Bad Batch help her rescue the child. That's kind of a big order there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did your alarm bells start going off when you heard the name Jabba the Hutt? Did you want to touch him and feel his texture?
I wanted to feel his texture. No, I did not. I don't think I would want to feel Jabba's texture. I feel like I'd want to stay pretty far away from Jabba.
I like Trevor saying here the rent for an apartment in Ord Mantell is sky high. I'd rather stay in Mos Eisley. Listen, do you want a good view or do you want to get stabbed in the gut behind a dumpster?
Right. What is it worth to you?
Yeah, I'll pay an extra pack of pieces of gum for that one. And then we also have some love from Chad Benty. Moochie. Okay, so yeah, now we get Jabba the Hutt in the mix, which I thought was really kind of cool.
Yeah,
a character that we maybe weren't expecting to see or hear about.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how deep they're gonna go with him, or is that just like a side reference that they used?
I don't know if anything's ever just like super throwaway like that, but I don't know if it would be like a main thing. Well, but then kind of towards the end of the episode, I don't know how chronological we want to go, but you know what I mean?
We're throwing the rule book out the window.
There's no rules. Mm-hmm. With Bib Fortuna. So there's definitely, but I don't see it being a big part. At least I didn't think. I didn't even think we'd hear about it at all.
I think at this point, there's so many Star Wars characters that literally you can just mention. It happened in Solo when they were with just kind of referencing, I forget the guy, Doc Ondar, who is one of the people at Galaxy's Edge. You can go to Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, and
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, Kira says to somebody like, "Oh, Doc Ondar, like give this to Doc Ondar. He's over there," or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's just like that. It's so vast at this point. You can literally just say like, "Oh, hey over there, Cad Bane,"
right?
And just that's all you get. It's just like anybody can be in Star Wars, just in a passing thing.
That's true, and I think it's a little more weight, I guess. If you could just make up a random name, to throw it in. But if you pull something that people already know, and there's kind of that, it's definitely cooler.
Exactly. Okay.
Like
so Sid is not impressed with the Bad Batch at all, but she is very impressed with Omega.
Right.
And once again, Omega is leaning towards that whole force sensitive thing that I told you about.
Just straight up
was like, you're Sid.
Yeah. I mean,
Here's
I also
go
knew
ahead.
it was Sid, and I'm not force sensitive. So it's not, I don't know if
That's
it's
true.
that big of a mystery, but I see what you're saying.
Well, the thing about it though is, I mean, Omega doesn't know what dirt is.
Yes.
Yet she knows that this person's Sid for sure.
True. That's true.
It's interesting. But it turns the Bad Batch into mercs, basically, and Wrecker loves it because she gives them that whole ploy. Like, if you go save this this child, you will be able to I'll get you some info on Fennec. But Wrecker is like, oh yeah, just go and be able to fight a guy, and I'm gonna get a oh, I love it. Oh, my head.
Right?
That I can't do that voice too much.
That's something. I'm telling you, that's something.
In the chat, is my voice good enough for Wrecker that I need to continue to do that? Because I will suffer for art.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, it's me, Wrecker. Anyway, Wrecker definitely has CTE. I'm getting serious at this point. Post concussion symptoms are very be quiet. Post concussion symptoms are very serious. I've had several concussions myself, and
that's right.
I don't know. Shut up. I don't know how I feel about them making this a whole comedic thing with, can you stop breathing into the mic?
I'm just really nervous.
This is driving me crazy right now.
This is their concussions talking. You've had too many. He's angry.
Oh no. Did everyone else hear me echoing, or was that just me?
That was just you.
Oh gosh, never mind. Take this part away.
See, look, he's rubbing his head.
Oh my gosh.
I told you, it's a thing. I said it 2 weeks ago when my sinuses were attacking me and I was in bed commenting. That's actually going to be the comment that wins me the art. Is me like, oh, is Wrecker's head? Is it something more? It is.
That is a big one. But before we kind of start moving on, Trevor wants to hear your Wrecker impersonation.
Oh, all right, let's kill things.
See, that's pretty good. He likes to slur his words a little bit more together.
Looks like I need a line. I'm such a line you know what I mean? Like, if I'm doing a dialect, I want to read something.
Okay, well,
now that thing is a god dog.
That's pretty. All right, moving on. They had this whole little commentary about Omega not knowing what slaves are, which, once again, if you saw our clip from last week, which is on our Facebook, YouTube, and not YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram right now, we kind of play this whole thing up. But I mean, her not understanding slaves is acceptable compared to not knowing what dirt is.
I was going to say, she doesn't know what dirt is. Like, they've set the stage there already for us.
The bar is pretty low of the stuff that she knows. But they start talking about like slaves and it being like kind of messed up and everything.
Right.
And I was telling you while we were watching, I'm like, they're slaves.
Like, worse.
They're bred to be soldiers,
right,
to go to war and die. Their lives are specifically made to be shorter so that they can grow faster, so they can be sent to the war. And they're going, man, it's really kind of messed up that they're right, taking all these people as slaves. And it's like, you were born a slave.
Right. That yeah. Which I think they would know that, though. Like, I think they understand. Do you think they have any concept of like what?
I think the chip also gets rid of that too.
Then they were made more docile. They're genetically engineered to be warriors.
See, say no to GMOs. You don't want those genetically engineered humans.
That's how it happens.
That's where we're moving to. That's where we're moving to, everybody. I'm going to get serious again with you. I actually don't. GMOs. I actually don't have that big of a issue with those.
This is mine now.
Oh,
please.
Sorry. Go ahead.
GMOs. Oh, don't let them in your food. Don't let them in your clones. Don't let them anywhere. Don't let them in your house.
I don't know when to turn off the echo. You keep going. You keep stopping.
Don't let them.
Okay, never mind. Hunter finally has Omega stay with the ship. They go to that lookout.
Oh, yes.
Which I was in the lookout too, if you guys saw the thumbnail. They're at this lookout, and then finally Hunter's like, Omega, go stay with the ship.
Alone.
alone.
You know.
Well, she had the gonk droid, and that gonk droid might be able to go ham. Like, we don't know.
That's true. That's true.
The gonk droid might turn into like a BB-8 type deal.
Or like an R2-D2 when he just like melts droids.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Catches droids on fire. Who knows how well that works out for them. And so they go down to try and free these kids, which they think these other people are the right people they're trying to free.
Moochie.
And they get wrecked pretty quickly.
Yeah.
There's this guard dog there, right? And it's basically a big flying lizard that wrecks all of them. And I keep saying wreck, but I realize there's already someone named Wrecker.
Wrecker.
Oi, hey, you're wrecking us now.
Hey, what are you doing up there flying around?
You know what? Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it anymore. I'm not into it. But yeah, so they get locked up and everything. And then we go back to Omega, and she's there safe, planning her cosplay for when she becomes a part of the Bad Batch.
Right.
I found that interesting. Did you notice that too, where her little toy was basically like, oh, this is who I'm going to be.
Yeah, this is going to be my suit of armor.
Right.
Which would be dope.
She needs anything
Yeah.
other than what she's wearing.
Well,
It's also probably dirty too.
That would make her look more like a clone. That would make her look more like part of the Bad Batch. If
Right.
anything, you just want her to look like a total civilian.
Yes.
Just a child. The child.
The child.
Every time.
But yeah, so the Bad Batch find, like we talked about, and fight off the slavers. And that's after Omega thinks on her feet. She thinks on her feet. She slips out of the ship.
Yeah.
She goes over to where they're being locked up at. And then she frees Moochie, who they don't know is Moochie right now.
Right.
And I thought that was funny. They kept calling this like alien child, hey, we're going to help you, Moochie. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Well, because I thought that too. I think it was Wrecker was the first to say it, was like, we're going to get you out of here, Moochie. And then I was like, how did they immediately know that child they're speaking to is Moochie? You know, like I get that they could guess, but like, how would they know that? And they didn't, and they were totally wrong. So it made sense.
But yeah, so she frees Moochie. Moochie starts going ham. Echo is basically a walking comm. I think you talked about this when we were watching it, in the sense of like, they couldn't free themselves because they needed to radio to Omega. Right. But their comms were over with all their stuff. So Omega had to go get the stuff. Right. But it was like, what is all that, Lobot type technology on your head for, if not to just be like, ding, ding, hello, I can talk to you on the phone right now. Yeah. Echo is basically like a whole robot. He should have a comm system just in his head. It's Robeco at this point. It's Robeco. That's true. So Robeco, Tick needs to put some sort of comm system in Robeco's head. I like my mic. There you go. How you like that? Yeah. Do I sound better? The slave guy, while Omega is doing this whole thing, pulls a major like James Bond villain. Because do you realize while she's like scurrying down, opening the cage, doing all this stuff, he's having a whole monologue that entire time. Yes. You can just hear him echoing as he's talking more and more. Well, also, I think it was Echo was just the one doing all the talking. It was kind of cool. He's like, oh, if I had my stuff, like we'd be getting out of, kind of talking to Omega, trying to like, hey, go get our stuff. Yeah. And she looks down at it. So like, that was pretty clever. But yeah, he's doing like the villain monologue. And then Wrecker isn't too clever in that part too, where he's just kicking rocks at people. Yeah, right. And they're just straight up like, hey, we're just going to kill you. Just so you know. It's like, if you keep kicking rocks at us, like we will zap you on your... Well, he was talking about like, just like, we don't need another clone or another slave. We'll just kill you. Right. Which, yeah. I mean, if you're kicking rocks at me, I think I'd kill you too. Logan, would you be able to scroll down on the notes over there? I would. Thank you so much. Thank you. So there you go. There's the big twist. It's a baby Rancor. That is the child in this incarnation. I really do think Dave Filoni was like pulling the child switcheroo, kind of a call to The Mandalorian, because that's what that was. It was like, it was kind of the opposite, where it's like, oh, you're going to go get this 50-year-old. And then it turns out to be a child. Right. But this time it's like, you're going to go get a child. Oh, it's a baby Rancor child. Right. An adolescent Rancor child. Yeah. Well, who knows how big the babies are? That's true. It seemed like a pretty big baby. It was having a big old fit. It was actually having a pretty BA brawl. Yes, it definitely was. So Moochie is just wrecking people, like straight up. It's like throwing people around.
It's doing like the Hulk slam.
Yes.
With the lizard thing, which I'm sure has a name. I don't know.
No, it's just lizard thing. Because I have here Step Aside King Kong versus Godzilla. This is Moochie versus Big Lizard Pet.
That's true.
Because it basically was. It was like that was the dynamic that they were doing there. And I thought this whole part was super cool. I'm a huge fan of Godzilla movies and all that type of stuff.
Big monster fights.
If only we had the Zillo Beast there, it would have been a major, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the Zillo Beast? Can we see it? Can we have it?
Where's Sheev and his Zillo Beast, his whole armor? That's what he has to be doing it for something.
That's what I'm saying. Was the Zillo Beast just to tease us and then never bring it back?
In the chat, anybody can do what they can to let us know if the Zillo Beast thing was brought up in any books or comics or anything. Let us know, because that has been something we've been following. Because didn't you say in one of your predictions for Bad Batch that there would be something with the Zillo Beast?
I think it was my Hail Mary, other than Palpatine will find true love.
Right.
But, we know that's going to happen.
That's true. So Omega getting the light bow, that it was awesome. You know what I mean? Like putting it on. Now she kind of has her thing.
Right.
And it gave me chills a little bit. I'll be honest.
Thing is sweet.
It's super cool.
Well, because we haven't seen, we didn't see her use it this episode, did we?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, she
just
turned
opened
it on. Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the only reason I know what it does is because in the trailer we saw a little snippet of her actually using it. So that's why as soon as she opened it, I was like, oh.
I want to bring this up because we're about to get to this part. Joel Davis said, Rancors are now cute. Never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
Because there's this whole big thing where it's like there's a social hierarchy in Rancors. So everybody remember this, much like, different bears, you have to be loud to make them leave. Some you have to play dead. Like there's all that stuff. But if you ever run into a Rancor, you have to fist fight it.
Yeah, you have to get into a slapping match where you just stand across from it.
Yeah. Well, they have a whole fight. Wrecker throws some more rocks, and then they're just standing there punching each other back and forth.
Yep.
It's like a wrestling match. If there's more people there, it'd be like a boo. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Have you ever seen those professional, they're just stand
the professional slapping
where they just stand on the other side of the table and they just go, yeah, exactly.
That's what we'll do in the post show.
And they just
we'll smack each other.
That would, we would, I guess the audio for that would be pretty interesting, but that would be more of a video.
We can definitely fake that.
Right.
I mean, no, we're definitely going to do it. So they have this big fight, and then there's a big Rancor cuddle puddle.
Yes.
Because
Wrecker is also a Rancor.
Yeah, they fall asleep on each other basically. And now Moochie, the Rancor, is not just cool with only Wrecker. She's cool with everybody because you got Omega riding on his back. I like that. Like, I wonder, because they had to have put it on the ship, right? Yeah, I wonder what that ship ride was like coming back. You just have this baby Rancor in the holding cell, probably like chewing on the Gonk droid.
Yeah, just like drooling everywhere. I think they gave the Rancor Omega's room. Just crammed him in there. Crammed Moochie with a little turret.
Speaking of Moochie, Siren says, take your bets now to guess what this baby will eat to make people upset. Like with Baby Yoda and the last two with the eggs.
Frog eggs.
This is a new bet for the Bad Batch predictions. No, I don't know.
It's gonna eat Omega.
I don't know if we will see Moochie again until Return of the Jedi.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
I do think so.
I was waiting to see the crying man.
Yeah,
and he's just still there crying even before.
He's just an emotional guy.
Well, we could see him getting Moochie, and he's crying of happiness. And then, then we see the bookend in Return of the Jedi where he's crying of sadness.
It doesn't seem like anybody in the chat is talking about the Zillo Beast, so it's still an open book.
Yeah. When are we going to see it? I want it.
So
that's the technology.
They take Moochie to Sid and is given to Jabba's right-hand man, Bib Fortuna, in exchange for the reward. So Bib Fortuna, which is Jabba's gross Twi'lek right-hand man.
Had to throw gross in there.
He's super gross. He's like flesh colored.
I kind of want to feel his texture.
I mean, me too, but I'm not going to say that in front of
We
everybody.
can't say that on the show.
Yeah. I mean, I think about it sometimes. I draw it sometimes.
I draw it in very, very large detail.
Think about it a lot. I draw it a lot.
Think about it a lot. I draw it a lot.
So now Bad Batch is kind of mercs for life. I feel like this is where it's going to be headed towards, especially at the little cliffhanger they give, because we have this this thing where it's like, hey, I want to talk to you, Hunter. You know, Sid is like, all right, come with me, Hunter.
You.
And shows them this him. This is Fennec Shand. She's new, which I find interesting.
Relatively new to the game.
Relatively new to the game. Keeps talking about how she'll never be a cyborg.
Never be a cyborg. Never change your clothes.
I know a bounty hunter when I see one because they never change their clothes.
Yeah.
Because I saw that same person like 3 years ago, same clothes.
That you know what I mean? You can't. Here's the thing: when you're a bounty hunter, it's like the wet bandits in Home Alone. Like you have to find something to leave your mark. You know what I mean? And if it's an outfit, you can't change up your outfit because no one's gonna know who you are. They're not gonna be able to tell your stories, your legends.
Well, the thing about Boba Fett is,
see, he never changes his outfit.
but he has. Well, he did actually now in the Mandalorian, but
not by choice.
He has armor and everything and a helmet. But then you can change the undergarments for that get up. You know what I mean?
True.
But Fennec has the same undergarments.
Yeah.
You know, like the same, and it's not like armor necessarily. It's weird.
It's just cloth.
I don't know. Fennec is just giving me weird vibes, trying to give, you know, Omega space candy and puppies to come back to the ship.
It worked.
Half worked.
Yeah.
They only like made it a little bit down the street until Stranger Danger kicked in.
That's true. Hunter came along.
This is something though, because we talked about last week, like we were saying now, that Fennec was hired by the Empire. However, it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like what they're trying to do, part of it is not just find out who Fennec is, but also who hired Fennec.
Yeah.
Because it might be the Empire, who knows? But they're kind of building that up as a mystery a little high.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like thank you. Always
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's what they said when someone's coughing. You always need a good pat on the shoulder and like not even on the back.
I'm just practicing for our slap off.
Yes, after post show. I think the Empire's bad guy of this show is probably going to be Crosshair for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
whenever we see him again.
Whenever that is. And we can't hear him ever again because he doesn't have his comm system.
No.
But I think, yeah, you're right. I think Fennec will be from something a little larger. I think that'll be a bigger reveal of like who hired Fennec.
Yeah.
The Empire would just be a little too easy.
Joel has a weird theory here. Fennec was hired by Darth Maul. Wink.
Okay.
Who knows? You never know why. But Maul works in mysterious ways. So they say, all right, Sid says, hey, here's Fennec. We don't know what her whole deal is. She really likes orange and black, but here is your cut, which is some gum.
That's what they're paid.
She opens this like little case with the credits. And did it look like this to anybody else? It just looks like little pieces of gum.
Yeah. That's what that when you transfer over your credits to the Empire, they just give you gum.
Yeah.
Double bubble.
That
no, Big League Chew.
Big League Chew would have been like
pouch.
Big pouches.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Big League Chew in a galaxy far, far away. They like simplify it. They made it small. It's Small League Chew.
Or I said they were dominoes. So you could just take Big League Chew, the little strands, you melt it down and make it into Big League Chew dominoes. Best of both worlds.
And you get to play a fun game.
Yeah. And the winner gets to eat it.
Have you ever actually played dominoes?
I don't think you can.
I don't know if it's a real game.
No.
I think people just pretend.
It's just you see a number and then you just throw it at someone. It's more of like you hit me with your 5, you know? Oh, I got hit with a 3.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what it's
you
for.
mark it down.
And you mark it down.
Whoever has the most at the end gets to keep the dominoes.
Yeah, and they get to eat them.
There's only been one set of dominoes ever made.
Yeah.
Because they just get passed around.
You just keep passing them.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to hit a bullseye.
So Sid gives some of the reward to Hunter, but is unable to learn who hired Shand. She offers to give the Bad Batch more mercenary work in the future. And there was this kind of, little standoff where she was like, all right, so you have somebody after you guys. You may be very valuable then.
Right.
And he's kind of like turning around like, am I going to have to shoot you in the face? And then she's like, don't worry, I'm no snitch.
Yeah, I can keep a secret.
But it seems like because of that, having that weight over their heads, she could kind of dictate like, hey, I want you guys to do these jobs that I already mentioned. I kind of want you guys to do.
Yeah, you're going to do this job. And then it's like, no, that one's too crazy. And it's like, I'll tell them. I'll tell everyone who you guys are and that you're here. Also, Sid's been a liar before,
Yeah.
like just in the beginning of this episode.
Right.
It's like, I'm not Sid, clearly Sid. So I don't know. It's kind of opposite day
Well,
with Sid.
we have to remember Hunter's street smarts aren't the best.
No. It's like he can sense everything except when someone's lying.
Here is something I think Trevor might have the finger on the pulse. By the way, you keep looking at my screen when you'll also be able to see the screen over there.
Well, looking at your screen's way more fun. You know what I mean?
Okay, here, come here. Logan,
Like, look, see how boring this is?
I know, it sucks over there. Logan, come here. Logan, come over. Check this out. Ready? Trevor said, what if Fennec was hired by the Kaminoans?
Ooh.
Because remember, they have that little like,
They
we should do something else as well.
We should get Omega back because we need to make even better clones, newer clones.
But you know what
Their
I mean? They
clones are
have
running
that.
out.
They have that one little meeting where they're like, we're going to do something.
Yeah.
As well. So maybe this is what they're talking about. I thought they were going to make a gigantic clone.
Just one large.
Just one big Zillo Beast size clone.
Stop teasing me with that Zillo Beast. I think the Rancors was a clone. They made the Rancor as a clone. Let it free. They're cloning Rancors now.
So it does kind of seem like they're in debt to Sid, but I think that can be a good plot point that drives through this season. What?
I'm just gonna keep looking on your screen. Now.
Come over, man. Come over.
I forget
Let's
that I
hang
can
out.
even look on my screen. We haven't had this set up before.
Listen, man. We're working our way up. We have a whole slanty wall.
We have a slanty wall. We have a monitor.
We have a monitor
that I can't use.
We got a
got a
blanket over a lamp, dude. Listen, we're going to the top. We're
tier.
cultured now.
That's true.
We're culture slated.
That's
okay,
true. We are
So-
slated in culture.
yeah, we're moving up. Literally, we're in the second story of a place right now. Like,
That's
dude,
true. We used to do our stream on the first floor. Now we're on the second floor.
you gotta take that cream,
Rise at the top.
put it to the top. Everybody hates your cream. Anyway, so that was this episode. In the chat, I know we'll say that whole bit in the post show.
Oh, we can't say it all.
In the chat, let us know 1 to 10. What was your rating for this episode of The Bad Batch? So go ahead and put that in the chat. Logan, what was your rating for this one? I know what mine is.
Okay.
Mine is a 7.5, actually.
Isn't that what I said about last ones?
I think it was.
I need to go back and mark down what all mine have been so I don't keep repeating
No.
them. That's true.
Let's not add too much. The point system already that Hannah Rayside introduced
Yeah,
put too much complexity into this.
it's true.
Let's not add too much. Let's not track this. Okay.
It's just
Here's
free
why.
form.
Here's why mine is a 7.5. Let's make it a 7.61.
Okay. Round down.
Because I like this. It was just honestly kind of a do nothing episode. Because what was the point? The point was to figure out who Shand is. Well, for us, we know who she is.
Right.
So we got this cool little story and everything, and they kind of learned the name and whatever, and they might be mercenaries more soon. But at the end of the day, not much really progressed unless
Right.
I'm forgetting some other major plot point.
There's some other things that might, like, I even had a thought, and I could just be grabbing at straws. Is that the saying? I don't know.
Grasping at straws.
Grasping at
But
straws.
let me use this one before you grab it.
I'm gonna grasp it. I'm not gonna grab it.
Firmly grasp it.
The child. The child.
Thank you.
I do my own echoes. Thank you very much.
Echoes,
and I break
echoes,
the mic.
echoes.
I think the child who they thought was Moochie, I don't know, there was a couple interactions. I was like, we might see that person again.
No
but
way.
Other than that, you don't think at all?
That's my prediction. No way we're gonna see them ever again.
Now
This is something we
Disney?
can track. Disney,
if you are watching
don't
this,
ruin Star Wars.
Go
Bring back fake Moochie.
Yeah, that would be that's the ruining.
Yeah.
I don't want to say filler because that seems like
This was much better than like a filler. You know what I mean? This had a step above a filler episode.
right. That's what I mean. That's why I don't want to. I'm not just going to brush it off as filler. But I understand what you are saying when you're like, what really for the characters, or even for us, I guess, because the characters did learn Fennec. I don't know. It did hold my attention though. Honestly, I think a little more even than not last week's episode, but 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I think I liked it a little more, and I think I gave that one around a 7. So I'm going to go with like an 8 on this one.
Ooh, a little bit of spirit fingers there.
A little bit of spirit fingers. You know, you can never have too many spirit fingers.
Let's go to Chad Benty. He said, I thought it was a fun episode, but it didn't really advance the story. This isn't my favorite episode of what has been released. A 6.
Yeah.
Wow, a 6. Now, a 6 is where I would put like a very good filler episode. So I think that kind of works out if that's Chad's kind of immediate feeling when it comes to it.
Yeah, and I don't want to skew my answers because I really, for some reason, did have not big expectations for this episode, but I really thought it was going to be kind of a bigger one. You know what I mean? Some more stuff happening. So then when it wasn't, I was like, well, I don't want to seem like it's technically worse just because I had my hopes a little high up.
Oh, I think it's a kind of a bigger thing, in my opinion, when it comes to it, is like, you know, it didn't necessarily advance the story, but then it also didn't like say, hey, this is what probably will happen in the next episode.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there wasn't like a big cliffhanger necessarily.
Other than Wrecker's head, they've definitely, I know it sounds like a small detail, but they are kind of keep pushing that forward to lead to something.
I don't know what they're going to do though. Like, I don't know. Like, you're right. It is something that keeps coming up that his head hurts a lot, but where is that going to go?
Maybe it's his inhibitor chip type of deal. And when he hit his head in the crash, it hit something off with it where it's slowly, you know what I mean? I don't know that, you know, I don't want to get too crazy down the route of like, speculation, but I will say there definitely is something there because they've brought it back many times now, even 2 episodes later. Because after last week's episode, I was like, oh, they didn't do the Wrecker's head thing.
Right.
You know, it wasn't in last episode.
But he did hit his head again.
He's always hitting his head.
Which is like, dude, just wear the helmet
You have a helmet. You have a helmet. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Tech needs the comm system permanently in his head.
Yep.
And Wrecker needs his helmet super glued onto his head.
Right. Joel says, I can't say it's filler since it still advances the characters by leading them down the path as being mercenaries, which is true. I guess here's what I would say, you know, thinking of that is, will that be a major point going through this? Because we were speculating that, you know, just a second ago, we were saying like, oh, this seems like it might be something that they're going to be doing, that they will be mercenaries and whatever else. But sometimes, and it's true, this happens, it can be a thing of next episode. It's like, okay, what job are they going to do? And then it's going to be like, this episode, we need to clean the outside of the ship, but we're in space. Whoa. You know, like, and that's all. Omega's in space and she's freezing. We got to get her out of there. Like, that's my concern.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's a filler episode. A filler episode is like, hey, we need to make a pie, but we don't have the fruit. Let's go.
Got to clean up the inside of the ship. It's a little too dirty.
Right. So,
the Rancor messed everything up.
Oh,
Moochie. Who else but Moochie?
Comes in the door of the ship with a top hat on, puts it on the coat rack. The audience.
There's canned laughter.
I love you, Moochie.
Moochie's just Stovey now.
Moochie is the fan favorite. I'll do anything for you, Moochie. I love it, Moochie. Oh my God, it's Moochie. The child.
Just yeah.
The child.
Just articles of clothing being hurled up on stage at Moochie. Like, wow, he is really getting the attention.
Okay, let's see what Trevor, because he's saying a hot take here. Hot take: there's no such thing as a filler episode. Every episode fulfills a purpose, even if it's just character development. Now, Trevor, that is a pretty hot take. But at the same time, what if next episode they have to clean the outside of the ship, but they're in space?
That would still further it.
I mean, everything. Yeah, I guess.
No, I understand that makes sense. I truly think in a large scale show like this, like The Bad Batch, like a lot of mainstream media, there are no really such thing as filler episodes, even though they might seem like filler because it's not exactly what like I was describing. It wasn't exactly what I expected. I was like, oh, it's been a few episodes, a little slower, I would say. I mean, not really, because last episode was pretty crazy, but you know what I mean? So I'm expecting something and then it's not. So in your mind, it's like, oh, it's a filler, but it's true. There's no real filler because you would know. It would stick out like a sore thumb if it truly, truly was.
Yep. So all around, I did like this episode a lot. I thought that they covered a baby Rancor very well. I thought they added a lot of cool things. They brought back cool stuff, being the slavers as well as Jabba and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. I'm still very interested in the story every single week. Are you you're still feeling good about the show in general?
Of course, I'm still feeling very good about the show because no matter what the episode, it still always seems like it's something new being thrown at me. And that's even something like the Clone Wars or something like it is new, but I don't know. I can't put it into words. I was thinking about it this week and I'm not even going to try to put it into words now. Well, I haven't.
Then don't.
Thought about it, but I am going to try.
Just give up.
Tyler's here with the great advice. And if anything's too hard, just give up.
Just give up.
That's always an option.
It's always an option. Just stop.
Whatever.
You ever run into an issue and you're like, man, this is hard. Just stop.
You don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
You don't have to explain yourself.
Unless it's living. We don't want to get caught up in any of that. You definitely continue living. But if you're doing something, you don't like doing it.
Right. Like
just stop.
If you're doing this, if you're sitting next to your buddy and you're doing a live show or something like that, and it's like, wow, I don't want to, I hate this guy. You know? You don't have to do it anymore.
I feel very, very strongly connected to that feeling, that emotion.
That was the point.
You're catching the hint.
Yeah, you're good. Got a real wrecker over here.
But wait a second. That's kind of
my head.
That's kind of exactly what we're doing here. Logan is hitting his mic more than
I know. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
More
what's
than
wrong
Wrecker
with me
is getting hit in the head.
I'm trying not to. I'm like, do I just have to scoop my hands up underneath every time? I don't know what's happening.
Logan, I think this is a question to you. What's stopping you from stopping? Or is that kind of our
just a void, a large void?
Is that our the more you know type thing?
Yeah.
Hi, Tyler Bucks from Chatter Squadron. You ever run into an issue where you're really trying hard, but it's just not going anywhere? Just stop doing it.
What is stopping
you from stopping?
I was really had a pause.
Maybe
there.
That's the catch. What is stopping? And then you stop, see?
Right.
And then it's you from stopping.
That's good. That's good.
Perfect.
Thank you, Chad.
That's how we're going to start out each show now. Hello, everybody. Over at Chatter Squadron. What is stopping you from stopping?
What is stopping you from stopping? You need the pause.
So all around good episode. I'm very happy about. And I'm talking about our show. Logan, all around good episode. You get to stay on. I'm not going to kick you out. Hannah's not going to replace you yet.
Yet. She is nipping at my heels.
Yeah, she's ready to jump on a plane from Australia here at any moment.
It's true.
We're still going to use your room though.
Yeah, I'll just be.
You gotta sit on the bed
watching TV. Like, hey guys, have a good show.
Shut up, Logan.
Okay.
Okay, but before we close out the show completely, once again, Acme Archives Direct got us this amazing art, and if you comment on our streams, it can also get you this amazing art. That is the gift by
Al Abazia.
Thank you very much, Logan. And also, if you want to make your way all the way out to Ohio, Superscript Comics and Games Free Comic Book Day is Friday, August 13th. We will be doing some things over there. The main idea that we would like to do is what's happening?
I'm trying to get you.
Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. Logan started looking around for the notes. He started looking around. Like, are the notes up there? Did I put the notes over there?
I'm like Marlon Brando on The Godfather. I've just taped my notes all over the set. You know, there's over the camera, there's on the soundboard, there's on the reverb.
Yeah, if you never knew that like the big jowls that he had,
His notes were in there.
It's notes. It's braille.
It was a
He's
script.
feeling it with his tongue.
With his tongue, and then he's like, "That okay."
I'm gonna make you an offer you can refuse.
Refute. No,
refute.
refuse.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. Refuse.
Is that a T or an S? Oh, okay.
That stayed in the cut, which is crazy.
Yeah, really helped this character.
Oh Lord. Okay. Superscript Free Comic Book Day, August 13th. That is a Friday. Look at the notes aren't over there.
Where are my notes? What do I say?
So if you want to come to Ohio, you can check that out. I'm not even going to say what we're going to do. We have stuff planned. Okay. It's going to be fun if you want to make your way there or try and check it out. We may live stream it, but thank you very much, everybody. We will see you next week when we cover the Bad Batch again. Logan, is there anything else you would like to say to the people?
Oh, hang on. Where's my notes for the ending?
We'll see you
there
guys.
it is. What's stopping you from stopping?
Oh, I just have to press this button.